cats. My goodness. Okay, it says we're live, which hopefully I can see some of my coaches and our other presenters coming in. I see Kelly. I see 5 of us, so that's awesome. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. I'm so happy to get these team calls back. My goodness, I feel like I miss everyone, and we need this time together. You know, we need to be able to share what's working for us, share what we're struggling with, and just see each other's faces, because I feel like it brings us all closer from all over the place. And wait, let me see. I think you can like lock on who sees. Otherwise, it's whoever's speaking that kind of pops up. So if you're not muted and you're a presenter, please mute yourself. Otherwise, it'll pop back and forth to you. Okay. So let's always start with recognition, and I think it's just because you guys are doing such a good job. June was a tough month for me. It was the first month I haven't hit Success Club 10 in 25 months. I'm a Success Club 10 legend, All-Star legend, and it was big for me to not hit it. But that doesn't mean you like get down in the dumps. You know that next month's going to be bigger because of so many people that I reached out to, right? So let's give props to the people who did hit Success Club 10, and here, I have it up right now, because that basically I want to give props to everyone who helped even one person this month, because I know sometimes it's not easy to get started and, you know, to just reach out, especially as a new coach. So we have some new names in here, which I also love seeing, but let's start off with Kathy Benson. I remember Kathy like earlier in the month and she's going to talk about this today on our call, but she was just not sure about coming to Summit and really not sure where she was feeling about her business, and then all of a sudden was like, no, I'm doing this. And she ended up with 15 Success Club points this month. Kelly Webster, she's 2 little babies and she's moving, killed it. Rachel, newly pregnant, congratulations, lady. Sarah Bria, same thing. My gosh, I have all these really cool stories. And then Tyla Bowling is a brand new coach that my friend and personally sponsored coach Tamsin messaged me about. Like, Wendy, you have to look at what this new coach in my downline's doing. And she signed up 5 people literally in like a couple days. And then at Success Club 9 points is Becca, Wendy Willis, Monica McCrossin. At 8 is Erin Cermak, Jessica Cooper, Joy Bowling, Emily Christ, Melissa Wardy is 7, Christy Vuktivan has 7, Jen Pierce, Kelly Helminski, Britton Lisk, Sarah Boldman has 6. I got 6 this last month. Marissa Newhouse, Gina Murdoch, Lindsay Delaney, Heather Rosenthal, Alicia Aronson, Liz Bazin, Shannon Winiger, Sarah Sokol, Jill Barnum, Amy Rule, Angela Bennett, Kim Gillinoff, Carolyn Hollern has 5, Stephanie Michalak ended up with 5, and Brian Vugteveen also got 5. So way to go, you guys. And then our top team builders, which, as you know, I've talked about this a lot in the group, but building your team is really the best way to share what we do as far as, you know, like helping the opportunity for more people to improve their life financially, physically, change their families, you know, the path of everything going on. So adding 5 new people to our tribe this month is Kelly Webster, Sarah Boldman, Tyla Bowling. Nice job, ladies. 4 new coaches is Monica McCrossin. 3 new coaches was Britton Lisk, Emily Christ, Katie Glasser, Kim Gillinoff, Sarah Sokol, Wendy Willis, and myself. And then rounding up with at least 2 new coaches, Amy Worth, Ashley West, Becca Wasso, Carolyn Hollern, Gina Murdoch, Jessica Denton, Jill Barnum, Juanita Smith, Karen Kovacs, Kevin Denton, Kimberly Sink, Shannon Babe, and Shannon Winiger. So, my goodness, it's always so nice to have that much recognition. And with these calls coming up every Thursday, I think it's something that just kind of gets us all a little bit more excited to have a big month, because July is a huge month in Beachbody land, because Summit is this month. I think there's a lot that's building up to it. We'll see a lot with the celebrity trainers, with the things that people are traveling. I personally will get to meet some of my personally sponsored coaches that I'm really great friends with that I've never met in person this month, which I'm super excited about. Got some major swag bags to hand out for my personally sponsored coaches and diamonds. And it's just the energy. It's almost like the new year for Beachbody Land is starting this month. So make sure to bring it, give as much as you can, and let's have some really good ideas. So for our first call back, we wanted to do basically a leaders, like, let's all get together and let's bring our teams together and recognize that A, we're stronger together, and B, we have a lot that we've learned at the same time. We have a lot that we can share, both really great, amazing things that have rocked for us, and then other things that were like, okay, I need some work in that area, or here's something that I totally screwed up on, and here's how I'm going to do it better. Because I personally have made a ton of mistakes in my business, and now my goal is to not have my coaches that make those same mistakes, or anyone in our downline. So the best way we can go about that, to excel in the things that we're great at and to cut out the things that we're not so great at, is to share. So tonight you have many of our diamond leaders, not all of them, just because we all have really busy lives sometimes, but sharing, I'll tell you exactly like what we're planning on talking about. So tonight, oh boy, I have to scroll up here, you guys. Sorry. So tonight we're going to start with Kathy, because Kathy had a really big, like I said, aha moment this last month where she kind of reconfigured and went insanely successful with the month of June. And then we're all going to share an aha moment, something valuable we wish we would have learned earlier, a mistake we made or a lesson we learned, and then just maybe a new tip for coaches that you think has been something that's been big for you. Okay, so Kathy, I'm going to make you the present to everyone. You should see Kathy's beautiful face heading up there. I think you have to unmute yourself. I don't know if I have to do that. Can you do that?
I think.
Oh, I can hear you.
Hear
So
me?
I'm going to mute myself, and then I might ask you some questions. And then also, if anyone has any questions, you can type them in the chat box so that we all can answer. Like, see if you have questions for Kathy or whatever. Okay? Awesome. Well, Kathy, take it away.
So my name is Kathy. I've been coaching for about 2 years, and when I became a coach, I really hit the ground running. I'm going to take off my glasses because there's a glare. I hit the ground running. I've been comfortable with social media because I had a blog, and I've always kind of shared my life openly, so I had a lot of success early on. And to be honest, I was not being consistent in terms of any kind of power hour. I would kind of do these, I call them like blitzes, where like once a week I would just follow up with everybody, and that worked for me for a long time. And I had some coaches early on that joined my team, and I got to diamond in like 6 months, and I was like, oh, I've got this. I'm awesome at this. And then things probably about a year ago, my team was not going anywhere, and I was losing coaches, and I was trying really hard to get the coaches on my team who seemed committed and wanting to get there, trying to help them grow, and I wasn't doing kind of the most basic things to grow my team. And so when coaches would quit or scale back on their business, it would really affect me and my business in a way that I feel like I shouldn't have been so dependent on. I'm going to tell you what happened in the past couple of weeks, but one of my big takeaways, and I remember hearing this at some point along the way and not maybe paying that close attention, but the idea that when you are recruiting prospects for clients and coaches, that to not be so focused on the outcome, because we can't control that. We can control how many people we're connecting with, how many new conversations we're starting, how many people we're inviting and following up with. And as much as it may not seem like it's a numbers game, it seems to work out that way. And what happened to me about a week and a half ago, I was at Success Club Zero. I had decided that my husband and I were not coming to Summit because it didn't make sense financially, and I had rationalized all these reasons why it didn't make sense to do it. And you know how it is with anything in life. When you make up your mind, you can come up with any rationalization. But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, why am I really doing this, and what would I be missing? And if I'm all in and I really want to be successful with this business, then I should go to Summit, and I need to change things that I'm doing, and I need to do power hours, and I need to. And so one of the things I did about a week ago, it was 2 weeks ago on Saturday, I sat down and I just did a huge messaging blitz. And I mean, I probably messaged hundreds of people that I've been in contact with. I literally spent like all of Saturday afternoon, like Bob and the kids were out doing like yard work and stuff, and I was just at the kitchen table messaging. And very few people got back to me that day, but in the coming days, like 5 to 10 people a day would reply. And some of these people I had not been in contact with for a year, but we had chatted a long time ago about Beachbody, and so I very quickly then ended up with all these people who were interested, and I do 2 years in. Some of my strengths are I feel like I'm really good at handling objections now, and so I'm really good at asking good questions and explaining Shakeology and the programs and finding a good fit for someone. And so very quickly I was at Success Club. I wasn't expecting 15. You know, sometimes they say you don't know who's going to follow through, and there's months where you follow up and follow up and you just barely hit Success Club. And then I feel like some of it was also luck this month, that kind of everybody who said they were going to order followed through, including a woman who just showed up one day and bought something from me, and I was totally confused because she wasn't a lead and she wasn't. And so I reached out to her and I was like, "Thank you so much for your order. Who are you?" And she said, 3 years, which had nothing to do with health and fitness. And I remember so she followed me because I had struggled with infertility and loss. And she's like, "And I decided I wanted to start Beachbody. And I kind of remembered that you had posted something about being a coach. So I decided I might as well order through you." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that's amazing." So you never know who you're touching or how things are going to connect. And I really appreciate everybody on the team for supporting me, because when I said I wasn't going to Summit, everybody was like, "Oh, we'll miss you, that's too bad." And and then I was like, "I think I'm gonna go after all." And they're like, "Oh, that's awesome." So I think mindset is so huge, and that goes hand in hand with personal development, that you can kind of make up your mind to anything. You can decide you're not going to be successful and you're not going to be successful. You can, and it's not, I mean, I think at times I get frustrated because like, okay, well, I'm going to decide I'm going to be successful, but obviously there's work involved. And you hear people say all the time, consistency, 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 and it's so true. And I would just add to that consistency, no matter how successful you are, because I think my biggest struggle is when I start to have success, I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm good now. I'm going to take a few days off and, ride that out for a little bit," and then I lose that momentum. And I think you think about, too, when you're confident, like once I started having with interest after that kind of blitz of follow-up messaging, I was saying to my husband, I'm like, "Oh, I've got my groove back on. I've got my momentum. I'm going." And then I had this confidence, because they say too, like, you kind of, when you're interacting with people, you don't want to seem like super needy. You want to seem confident, like it doesn't matter to you either way if they do this, that it's so awesome. And so I do think there's that too, that when you're feeling confident and you're having success, that can, you kind of exude that. Is that good?
It's yes, for sure, and that's why I even heard the advice.
Yes, for sure, and that's why I even heard the advice.
Reverberating.
What?
I heard the advice was that before you start messaging, you should get yourself into or start smiling, But those kind of things, like if you can go into your messaging and how you approach your business and that peak state, then your response is a peak response versus like, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to get one person," right? And
you get one person, right?
And I'm like, "Not Kathy, will you mute?" I'm like hearing myself.
Not Kathy, will you mute?
My voice is repeating myself. Yeah, I think it's
okay. Yeah, I can mute.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I feel like we both should be able to talk, but anyway, so yeah, and Kathy at live events, she's always the person who like takes notes on everything, has this high energy. She signs up for everything, she shows up for everything, and she motivates the rest of us to be like, "Okay, we've had an 18-hour day. Are we really going to that? Well, we know Kathy's going to be there, so we probably should, So I'm so happy you're going, and I'm so happy you just kind of changed your mindset about it, because I know you and the energy you can bring to your business and to the people you work with, and I think it's, again, like you said, not attaching, this was a lesson I had to learn too, but not attaching an outcome to the present moment of helping people, of wanting to have people, invite them to join your team, invite them to improve their lives in a way, whether it's through their health or their fitness or their financially, but just not attaching an outcome to it. Like, I'm doing this, like, what is my intention? Period. And that helps a ton. So really great, awesome advice. Is there anything else you think you want to add? Are you good? Okay, awesome. Well, thank you, Kathy. Okay, so Amy's up next. Amy, I've met Well, I've met a couple times now, but I'm super excited. Well, just once. We just met once? Twice. Okay. Yeah. So yes, Amy and I have met twice. The first time, yeah, we've stayed in a hotel room together. We've had a lot of fun. So she will be at Summit again, and I'm super keyed up about that. But Amy also has had some. She, I think, was one of my first coaches to be able to quit or at least scale back on her full-time job because of Beachbody. So that's what's super exciting for me, and I want Amy to be able to talk about what's going on, and let's go from there. Hey, girl. Mute. Amy, you're muted. You have to unmute yourself, sweetie. Yep. Sorry, I know we're all getting the use of this Hangout thing. Can't hear you. It says you're not muted anymore, though. Maybe your speaker headphones aren't working. Are you still plugged in? Mm-mm. Can't hear you. Let's see who's in the room. Okay. Well, Amy, how about we go to Sarah next because she's up. See if you can like test your sound. There's a thing up at the top under settings that you can see if your sound and stuff's working. All right. So I'm gonna present to Sarah, or Sarah's gonna present to everyone. And Sarah, unmute yourself. See if that works.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me? All right. All right. You ready for me?
Yeah. I don't know why it's not popping you up. Stop presenting. Let's see. Present to everyone. Amy, it's still on Amy. It likes Amy for some reason. Okay. Sorry. It worked fine with Kathy. Sarah, maybe? There. Hi.
Am I there?
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Okay. A little backstory on me. I've also been coaching a little over 2 years, 2.5 years, close to 2.5 years. I started off, you know, kind of with the intention of, I actually didn't, Wendy never even made a Success Club point off me. I feel bad for that because I just bought the 21-day fix, and she tried to get me on Shakeology. I was like, no, it's too much money, so I did the 21-day fix. And so my intention initially, truly, this is really sad to say, I wanted to, Wendy convinced me to be a coach because I had a lot of people interested. I wanted to make back my $60 that I spent on my 21-day fix. That was my goal. And then $15 each month of my coaching fee. And so it's just kind of funny. My mindset in the beginning was really just like, I don't know, didn't want to lose money. But the first month, and it's truly from what Kathy said before, that consistency piece, that's one thing I will say that has been a strength of mine, is that I've been consistent from day one. It's kind of like you give me a list of things to do, I'll do it, and I'll do it regularly, and so that's kind of how I've approached things. But in the beginning, I really took the, you know, I took the business seriously, but I also kind of was like, you know, I'm making a little bit of money, and that's cool, and you know, a few times Wendy had said to me, you know, you could quit your job someday, and I was like, nah. So it's just funny how things have evolved since then. And I would say some of the questions Wendy had asked was like your aha moment. I don't know if I had like a specific moment in time, but as I looked back on my business, you know, from where I was in the beginning when I was serious about the business and, you know, loved everything about it, but you know, was just sort of every month trying to hit Success Club, to when I went to Summit for the first time last year, and I realized that Beachbody is so much more than what it was in my head originally, that this is something that I needed to take to the next level, that I needed to be more of a leader for my coaches, because like I said, I was just trying to hit Success Club. If I got a coach, I was like, cool. It was more like selling things was kind of my viewpoint. And so leaving Summit, it really lit a fire under me that, hey, I need to be a mentor to my coaches. And so that's been something that hit me hard right after Summit. I was like, this is a business, and I need to treat it like a business, where I'm, you know, there's coaches that we can rely on each other and we can support each other, and I need to be able to, support them in the best way I could. And so it's still a work in progress. I'm working on my leadership skills, but it's definitely, it changed my business. When I left Summit, my business it's doubled, I would say, pretty quickly. And then I started having those serious conversations with my husband, like, this is something that I could quit my job. So my mindset, like Kathy had talked about this, that mindset shift, this is a serious business. I had said business before, but truly this is a business that you have to treat it like one. Like, you really have to show up every day, and you have to do the things that you need to do on a consistent basis. And so that was a big thing for me. I would say, for me, one of the lessons that I've learned through the process, although I've been consistent with my invites and been consistent with my workouts and all of that, personal development was an area that I was not consistent with, and Wendy knows that because I made a lot of excuses, and that was one thing that I let slide for a long time. I would do it a little bit here and there, but I was like, I'm too busy, I don't have time for it. But it definitely was something that, when times got tough, because this is a business, it's a business, and there's going to be ups and downs, and it's truly when I had those downs, personal development is what kept me afloat, honestly. And that's when you really need to kind of dive into it. And I feel like, I don't know what woke me up with that finally realized that I need to do this every single day. Because Beachbody is not just about making money. It's not just about getting fit. It's like kind of emotionally getting yourself fit. And that's where that personal development has impacted. And I think that has helped my business as well, adding that into what I do on a day-to-day basis. So eliminating those excuses, because we all have them. And I still have excuses for other areas. I have lots of areas that I can grow on, but that was one thing that made a difference for me. So, I think all in all, things that I'm trying to improve upon is that I'm trying to invest more into my business. I'm investing more financial resources into it than I had ever been before, and I'm trying to be more humble in that when another coach is giving me advice or has a suggestion, listen and think about it. And I've been guilty of that before, like, oh, what I'm doing works, but I really, need to continue viewing this as a learning process for me, that anytime someone has a suggestion or has an idea, I really should take heed and listen and try it out. And that's really, I think, been helpful for me. So that's, I would say the last few months, that's been kind of my evolution, is that I'm trying to absorb more information in rather than just being like a robot doing my power hour every day, which I think is great, and you should do that. And that's, like I said, that's been my strength. But the area that I hadn't been strong in was that personal development and really absorbing and being humble to what other people have to offer for me, or the personal development that I'm doing, or whatever. So I would say that's kind of where I'm at right now. And then lastly, one thing that I've been changing is, and part of it is that video kind of woke me up a little bit, Wendy, that you posted to some of us the other day, is like that vision. I've had a vision for several, probably at least 6 months, about 6 to 9 months. I've had a really strong vision, but I haven't been sharing it enough. I haven't been sharing it enough with my team. I haven't been sharing it enough on social media. I've been sharing it in my household and with some of my close friends, but that also is something that I definitely need to continue working on, and that's kind of the direction I'm going in now. So.
Wow, that's awesome. Am I echoing again, or I just want to be able to talk to Sarah for a second? I don't hear echo either. Well, do you want to share your vision with us?
Well,
you don't have to. Don't get me wrong, but I know put you on the spot.
Well, it seems silly, but like Greg will talk to me and be like, "Oh, this would be nice to do someday," and I go, my goal is for us to be millionaires. I know it sounds stupid. It's like I know other people would laugh at me, but I want to have $1 million business. I know it sounds crazy, but that's, some days when I'm working, I have to kind of remind myself where I want to see our family. I want to travel when I want to travel. I don't want to work for somebody anymore. I want to send my kids to college, pay cash, you know. I want to deck out our house exactly the way I want to. I want to, if the kids, you know, I don't want to say no to things because of finances. I want to say no to things for parenting reasons, but I don't want to say no for financial reasons. So, you know, and I'd like to, you know, obviously I want to quit my job, which, you know, it's kind of in the near future, and I'd like to retire my husband sooner than later, you know, so all those things are in my mind. It's just, I think that fear of someone laughing that I want to make $1 million in this business is probably been holding me back.
No, and it does seem ridiculous to people, right? Like when most people say, I'm going to be a millionaire, it doesn't really mean anything. Like how many people actually have the opportunity to be a millionaire with what they're doing in their day-to-day life?
Right.
Not very many. But I think if you say it, and obviously we are all sitting on $1 million business if we treat it like one, then when you say it, I'm not going to laugh at you. You know that because it's a goal of mine too. And I see these people's faces pop up that have been doing this business just a few years, you know, 3 to 7 years, and they've all earned $1 million in 3 to 7 years of starting a business. Like, how else can you ever do that in any other type of business? Not really very often. So that's.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm done. Go for it. What'd you say?
No, I was just going to say, when I went to leadership in January, one thing that stuck in my head that Melanie Mitro said that I have it written down, you know, and it's like, be willing to do the things that others are not willing to do, and so that you'll get the things that others aren't going to get, you know. So it's going that extra mile. It's like waking up that extra 30 minutes early or whatever it is, that sacrifice that you have to make, that you're willing to make, you know, to push your business forward. And that resonated with me big time. It's just like, it basically, to me, was like, cut the excuses, because there's always a way around. And it's like Kathy said, it's that mindset. It's changing that mindset to, okay, if there's a will, there's a way. You're going to figure it out. And so that was really big for me. That was a big moment for me.
It's so true. And it's I agree with you. It's just, you know, saying, okay, this can happen, this can happen, this can happen, but at the end of the day, this is what I want in the bigger picture. So how am I going to get there? And I mean, Sarah doesn't give herself enough credit. She's someone that, I mean, has now 4 kids, also works full time, and she has done her power hour like without fail every single day. And that's not something I can even say about myself. You know, like certain days I'm like, okay, I'm just responding to messages or whatever. Sarah, she gets up, she gets it done. It's like, that's why she's been able to grow her business at such a fast rate, have a ton of super successful coaches on her team, and not have to spend all day doing it, because she is very efficient. And I think that's something we all need to learn from when it comes to looking at Sarah's business. So, do you have anything else you want to add for us?
No, I don't think so. I'm excited to hear what other people have to say, too, and learn from them.
Okay. Well, thank you, Sarah. Amy, do you want to try again before we jump to Kelly? Let's try again. Let's see. Present to everyone. You're back up. No, darn it. I'm at the. Let me go. I'm in like the control panel. It says you're unmuted. I have you turned all the way up now. No one can hear her, right? It's not just me? Okay. We're going to jump to Kelly. Amy, maybe jump on your phone? I don't know. I'm sorry. Let's see. Kelly, you seem to be moving around. What are you doing? You're back. You're back. Are you unmuted? No, you're not. You're not muted either. What's going on here? Oh, come on. 2 people in a row now? Sarah, you didn't have your headphones on. I don't know. And Kathy didn't. This is weird. I've never had this. Okay. I'm going to have to ask Webinar Jam. Because I see you, and it says you're unmuted. You muted. I'm going to unmute you. Okay. Well, let's jump to Christy, I guess. Unless Kelly had some good stuff to share, too. I'm so bummed. Okay. Christy, can we hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, and I'm okay. I wonder why only certain people are working. Hi, there you are. Thank you
Hi.
for jumping on, even with your kitchen table swap or
Oh
something that
yeah.
you had going on. Oh my goodness. Thank you.
Okay,
Tell
so
us a little bit about yourself, my friend.
I have been coaching almost now for a year. I was a discount coach for quite a while and saw you all at Summit having a blast, and something was lit inside of me, and I said, I got to do this. So I hit the ground running, and I thought my first few months were very successful as far as I was hitting 10 Success Club. Um, I guess my lesson that I learned is that I wasn't offering the discount coach route or trying to really build a team right away. I wanted to hit Emerald, but I wasn't really focused on making like a team and making it a business, I guess. And so I guess that was kind of my thing that I regret in the beginning. Um, and I kind of have had, I moved in May and I teach full time. So my spring was kind of crazy. And I think I kind of related to Kathy tonight when she was talking. And the last couple weeks, I've had quite a few coaches drop, or a couple of mine that were I thought were going to be business builders have kind of taken a step back. So that has been something where I've thought, what am I doing wrong? What should I be doing? But then I've also been, chatting with Sarah, and I just got to push forward, and I got to, keep doing what I'm doing, inviting, sharing, encouraging, and you move on. And I think I'm coming out of that. I've been really kind of hung up on that, and taking it personally, like, they don't want to do this, or did I do something to offend them? So that's kind of been my biggest struggle, I guess, in the last just month or so, and even more so in the last couple weeks. But I do agree with Sarah with the personal development. I truly believe I'm reading The Miracle Morning right now, and that has been a struggle because I think I'm feeling some guilt because I'm not a morning person, and especially as a teacher, I enjoy my sleeping in, but I feel so much better when I get up. This morning I did it. I got up, I did some devotions, some personal development while I drank my Energize. My workout was better. So I just thought, this is a little bit of a little light bulb going on for me. So I have to keep doing the things, doing the inviting, offering the business side of it, and just really not be scared of what people are going to say and think. I need to get over that, and I feel like I have gotten over that, but just keep plugging away, and I will get through this little slump, I guess, that I feel like I'm in. So, did I kind of answer a lot of the things?
Okay, so let's talk about this slump. Now, since you're on the spot, I'm going to dig into this a little bit. Aren't you happy you get to be something like this? Because I feel like I said, I had a rough month last month, but it's a situation of, can you use it as an upswing? Like, what ways are you going to actively change besides just waking up early? Because I think waking up early, I have read Miracle Morning. I love it. I think it's an amazing book. And I have noticed with the way my children are, I mean, they're very young, even if I wake up early, I have people join me. So then for me, it's like, what's the point, right? Like, why am I waking up at 5 o'clock if I have now 3 kids awake at 5 o'clock? So I stay up late, and that's when I do, before I get out of bed, I do my Miracle Morning. Okay, so that's me. What else are you going to do besides implementing the Miracle Morning and not taking it personally? Like, do you see something, do you feel like you're being really great about your power hour? Is your vision very strong? Like, what things do we need to do specifically to not feel like you're in a slump?
I don't think that my power hour has been very strong. I feel like that is something that I've been struggling with to fit in. Now my kids will get up and go sit in front of the TV and don't bother me, so I don't have any excuses on that end of it. But I think I've felt if I don't get it done first thing in the morning, I'm the night person. Like I will sit and do it at night then. But I always feel like I'm constantly like, following up during the day or responding. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm doing things so haphazardly that I
Right.
should just, if I had that power hour, I think I'd nail a lot of it. But then I feel like I should respond, and I know there's been things I've seen that you've said before, or maybe I saw it in another team call or whatever, is that I don't have to respond to that message
No.
within an hour. Like,
No.
they took a day or two to get back to me. Like, I'm not going to wait that long. But, you know what I
Well, if you
mean?
do your power hour every day, you will respond to someone at least every day.
Right. Right.
But yes, I think that is a great thing that you've noticed, that moment where it's like, okay, if you follow your power hour in the order that it's actually listed in, messages are not the first thing that you're supposed to be getting to. And I've been doing Amy Reelman's power hour, which I've talked about a few times, and now I have so many conversations going. It's a situation where it's kind of exciting because I have been consistent with that. But it's not beating yourself up about yesterday or not worrying about oh, I'm going to do it tomorrow. It's literally as soon as you get off this call tonight or before you go to bed, are you going to let yourself go to bed before your power hour is done? Your answer has to be no. I'm not going to let myself go to bed until every single one thing is checked off that list. And if you do it in the morning, great. Then you can go to bed at 6 o'clock at night if you want to. You know what I mean? But it's a situation that I remember I heard about this from Christine Dwyer. You have to make your mind up of what is a no matter what in your business. Is it that power hour? Is it Success Club 5, which, your Success Club 5 All-Star? Obviously, that was, something for you. And I think it's making that list of what is one thing that I will not change on. And if you focus on that versus, I'm kind of in the slump right now, it changes your whole mindset about everything. It helps a lot. Okay. Have you had an aha moment with your business, like, oh my gosh, I'm doing exactly what I love to do, or yes, this business is more than I thought it can be? Did you, or something you've learned where you just can't wait to share it? Anything like that?
I think my aha moments are those messages from people that say, oh, I never thought I could, enjoy Shakeology, or I'm so glad that you encouraged me to do Shakeology, or I lost 4 pounds. Wow, that was amazing. Just all those little bits that just kind of plug me along, and I am helping people. It is, makes it real. Yes, I'm helping 3 people a month with the Success Club, but I feel like all those little messages, or when you check in with them during your challenge groups and they're saying, this is working, I can do a 30-minute workout, or, I never thought I could, those kind of things, I feel like those are kind of my ahas, this business is worth it, and it's real.
That's awesome. And lastly, what is your vision for your business, for your life, because of what Beachbody can bring you?
I guess my vision, at this point, my husband says I cannot quit because he wants me vested and stuff like that. So I'm not going to go there yet, but I just think, building a savings, we've talked about having a cottage or a boat, or, so just being able to do that, taking my kids to Disney, just some, the financial thing, not having to say no, like Sarah said, with, not, obviously for parenting reasons, yes, the kids need to hear no, but I don't want to have it be, something that is because of financial reasons. If I could help pay for our kids' tuition, we send them to a Christian school, that is also part of my why, and that I want to plug this money into something like that for them.
That's exciting. And it's funny is that Sarah said the exact same thing. I could never quit because, but I think what it's really important for all of us when we talk about our vision is to get so crystal clear, okay, a cottage, Disney, get a number. find a boat that you like, find a property you like, so that you know how much it is, that you can see yourself going through it. It becomes something real, not like, we'd kind of like to get that, you know what I mean? Like, make it so real that you can put yourself in that spot, and then it's not just kind of like I think, I know we can do this. You know, it just becomes, when you make it real, then it becomes real. So that's our really awesome things. And you'll get there. It's exciting to see. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Kelly, we're gonna try you again next, we think. Thank you so much, Christy. Christy. Oh, what is going on? So sad about this. Okay, it's weird because I don't have you up in the control room. I don't know. I had Amy though, so I don't think that makes. Oh wait, there's Tamsin. I can't make my screen big enough to like get everyone in here. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to go. Sarah Bry is up next. You ready to go, Sarah Bry? Kelly, I don't know what else to tell you.
I'm ready. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Can we see you? I see a black screen.
See a black screen. Let's see. Oh, I'll turn my camera off and on. Is that better?
See your profile. Oh, hi. There you are. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. So weird that some people are working and others aren't. I'm going to have to figure out. I feel like every time I get on, I'm like, okay, I have to figure this out next. But anyways, alrighty. Can't wait to hear what you have to say, because you have a story that inspires a lot of people, and not that all of these coaches don't. You know what I mean? But because we have a really cool tribe of all different kinds. But it's just, I'm excited to see what Sarah's got to join us, share with us too.
It's really cool to hear everybody's stories and perspectives. So quickly mine, I've been a coach for a year. It's a year in July. I just reached my year mark. And it's been awesome. I think someone mentioned that transformation from the inside out, and that's completely me. If they gave $100,000 winner for that, for the inside out transformation, I would totally submit my story. And I'm still working on it. But I'll start with the ahas. I think I have them weekly just from my personal development. So I'm going to go with my 3 most recent. The one was that obviously the video you posted had a huge impact on me, Wendy, and then Sarah posted it again and shared her vision, because I had a really clear vision when I started coaching, and that was to keep my house. Like, I woke up every morning, I had a picture of the house on my vision board. Every morning I said, it's going to be mine. It's not going to sell. I thought about it nonstop. And then when I accomplished that vision changed, but nothing replaced it, if that makes sense. So I really didn't have a vision other than, hey, I want to be 2-star. But that to me is more of a goal, not a vision. So that was an aha moment, because that video helped me to see I really need to have a clear vision. And it's funny you said make it clear, because I'll talk about what I did today on the way home from the store when I saw a house I loved. And then the other aha moment, I listened to the National Wake Up Call, and she talked about engaging her coaches. So that's what I do as a teacher. I present on active engagement. I present to staff. I present to teachers in our county. But I've never taken those tools and those strategies and used them with challengers, maybe to a certain point, and I haven't used them with my coaches. So that was an aha moment, like, I have all these strategies to get people actively engaged, but I haven't used them in coaching. So that was my second aha moment this week. And then one that stuck with me, that was also a mistake I made early on, was you just got to do it. You're not going to be perfect, just do it. Jump in. And I did not do that with my like page. It took me a year to get that up and running. With live video, I hesitated. With posting about my fitness journey, I hesitated. I feel like I'm hesitating first. I did a live video today, and I second guessed it. And then that thought came back to just do it. who cares? It's not going to be perfect, but put yourself out there. So those are my 3 aha moments. And a mistake I made early on was not just jumping in right away. And I still feel like I do that. I depend on others a little too much. Make sense?
What do you mean you depend on others too much?
I feel like I depend on other leaders
Mhm.
to kind of take charge, and then I sit back a little bit more. And as a result of that, I'm not leading my own coaches. And I want to do more of that, more connecting with my personally sponsored coaches.
Yes, 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 yes. So that was something I don't remember, but I heard it early on. Like, unless you act like you're a leader and really every day show up as a leader, then you won't believe it. And then your teammates and your tribe won't really see it either. And it was once I stopped using everyone else's videos and really, because obviously, we're all part of Team Body Burn, and Sarah Lenore's had a lot of success. Once I stopped deferring to ask Sarah for everything and just started kind of finding it myself, and then still using Sarah as a resource, as a success partner, that's when my business kind of changed too. And, so that is a big thing. I think that's important that you recognize that, because you have an easy way to make changes, right? Like, exactly what you have to do.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I have a team page, but I don't post in it consistently.
so that was why we kind of changed the Good Vibes Tribe to be what it is. Like, this is all of our team page, right? Like, are all leaders in this page. And then I feel like we all should have separate groups just for our PS coaches. So then they kind of get that one-on-one attention. And I'm guilty of this too. I use the Good Vibes Tribe as everything, as both for my PS and for all of us. But my personally sponsored coaches need that. I mean, they sign up with me. They need that one-on-one special space to just be able to discuss what's going on, struggles, strengths, where it's not, the entire tribe seeing it. And then that's also where you build together, because you have the special bond. So I think if you can stop using your uplines, other groups too, and maybe use the information they have and post it directly in yours, then it's something different. You're still using it, but you're making it your own, and it's coming from you to your coaches. Versus that's because I'm in some other great leaders groups, and I just copy, tweak a little bit. This is awesome. Here, use this, and it's been good. So, what else was I going to tell you?
Good advice.
Getting clear on that vision. I had the exact same thing happen. Last year was so crystal clear. Like, this is what I have to get, right? Like, this is what our team can do. This is exactly what I see ourselves. And then, like, I think I shared this with a lot of you on our live call yesterday, but then it was like, okay, now I need to focus on my family, right? Like, how are we going to get through this next thing? And I know you understand that too, Sarah. And then I kind of lost track of what is our vision for this team and this tribe. What can we do? What personally do I want to do? Because before it was so crystal clear, and then it got lost. And then that's when your business does falter, when it gets a little lost. So if that's one thing, as a tip to everyone on this call, if you can write those things down, and Miracle Morning does do this, but Tony Robbins is also a big believer in this too. Before you get out of bed, think about what you want to manifest in your life. Like, what are those things in your personal life, in your professional life, with your children, with your own fitness? What is that ideal, perfect, what could you have? Think through those things every day, so then they're real every day. And that makes it a little bit better too. Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see just what we all can do. I think we have such great leadership on this, and we're all growing, so that makes it even better. Okay, so we're going to try Kelly and Amy one more time. Let's see. Present to everyone. Let's see if Kelly's up first. Man. No, it's weird. It's like not even lighting up that you're there. Have you spoken on one of these Hangouts before? It might honestly be your Google Hangout settings. Like, I had to, when I first did Google, we can talk about this later, but when I first did Google, I had to make sure my Google settings were updated. Okay. Tamsin, you're up next, lady. Let's see if you can present to everyone. Oh my gosh. Oh, Tamsin, you're muted. Unmute yourself. Yeah.
How about now? Hello everybody. Oh, not right now, sweetheart. We're gonna have a visitor in a second. It's bedtime in my time zone, so everybody's getting ready. So I guess to start off with going over like some things that I wish that I would have focused on or done better at, like in the very beginning, was really found my tracking system, because I bounced around from different ways of tracking that now I feel like it's kind of a mess. And I'm still like I'm playing catch up. I don't have because it takes so much time to transfer all those names. Can you hold still, please? It takes time to transfer all those names, and so that just hasn't been, it's not always the top of my list to do. So here comes number 2.
Awesome.
And the other thing is I didn't understand volume very well in the beginning. It was not like, I think at the beginning I didn't. I was focusing more on, okay, I need to sell stuff, or I need to do the challenge packs and that sort of thing. And I didn't quite, okay, buddy, that's nice of you to say hi. I didn't quite understand volume, and so it took me a while to get there and really like get it down. And so now I'm like, gung ho, like building on that volume, but I just didn't grasp it, I guess, or something along those lines. And I wish that I would have figured that out a year ago. I guess just to go back a little bit. Hold on, buddy, okay? I've been coaching for 2 years now, and I became a diamond a year after I began. And why don't you guys go talk to your dad real quick? Hey, Justin. Help would be good. But I remember this because when Wendy announced that I had become a diamond, she posted a picture of like this like point A to point B, and it was like this squiggly line all over crazy, and that was so true, and it still is, because I still feel like, I know where I want my point B to be, but I'm still kind of going all over the place. And so I've had lots of different struggles, in business, my personal area and life, and how it has impacted my business. And so I feel like it's just a constant state of growth for me. And that could take like way too long to talk about. But I think going with my original, I feel like a lot of aha moments along the way. There's not one to speak of that it's like, although actually I'm going to talk about 2. The first one was when I first joined and was like, this is it. This is what I want. This is what I want to do. Because I was a banker. I was a bank manager for years before I started, and I knew that wouldn't work with being a stay-at-home mom. Obviously, I wanted to be there for my kids, and I didn't even have kids at that point in time. I just knew that I wanted to be able to be home with my kids, and so I wanted to find that job that I could have from home and, actually make money doing. But I was not into, I looked into all the, Norwex and doTERRA and those types of things, but that wasn't something that, really I could do. And then when I found Beachbody, it was like, that was my aha. It was like, oh my gosh, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. This is what I've been, trying to find. And now it's just getting, to my vision, which watching that video from what's her name, Summer or whatever, that Wendy shared with us, that was a definite, like, this girl, if you guys haven't watched the video, like she was like so energetic, and like I thought she was gonna come through the computer and slap me in the face because she was all over it. And I mean, it was definitely what I wanted or what I needed to hear, because while I have this vision, it's too loose. It's not specific enough. I need to finalize it. I need to crystallize it. You know, I need to know exactly, you know, my house and the property and what it looks like. Like I need to really nail it down, and not have it be as broad as I think that it has been. And you know, write it down and have it on a piece of paper that I look at every single day, because that's not something that I have or have been doing. So I feel like that was my other big aha.
That one is.
Ooh, I need that.
Oh, where'd you go? I can't hear you now. Oh.
I'm echoing.
I'm echoing.
It's fine. Not talking. Let me see if I can. Turn Tamsin. I don't know why some people. Don't.
Here, I'll mute my second.
For a second. No. Someone else. Wow.
Okay.
I'm now. There you are. Is that better? Okay. Okay, so I think that's something we've all kind of discussed on our situation now, is not being crystal clear means that you're not really going anywhere, and that's what Summer even talks about on this video, which I just shared the link. Why would you invite people to get on your bus if you're like, well, I don't know where my bus is going, but you should join me because it's gonna be a great bus ride. Don't know where. I mean, would you get on someone else's bus that doesn't have any idea where they really want to go, either personally, professionally, spiritually? Probably not. And that's why not only is it important for you to get crystal clear, it's important for you to share that. Share it on your social media, like we've been talking about in our group. If you do work full-time, this doesn't mean you have to say, I can't wait to quit my job, because that's not a smart decision to do, especially if you need your full-time job and you like the people you work with, for example. But I think it's important to recognize how you can talk to other people who are working full-time, or your dreams and the things that you want to share about, because people don't understand what we do if we're not willing to share about it, and sometimes face that fear or backlash of what others will think about what we do. So that's awesome. Tamsin, thank you for jumping on. I feel like we've all had these kind of moments of growth. And by the way, Tamsin's one of my coaches that I've known kind of since I started. We've never met in person, and we'll meet in like 20 days. We've already decided that we're going to cry, and it's going to be great. But and we're roommates. So watch out. If you hear anything in the Omni Hotel, it'll probably be us. But we'll be good. Anyways, so I'm so excited to finally meet you and hug you. But thank you for sharing. If you think of anything else, always pop on and let us know. But I know you have a busy night, so thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Kim, I think you're the only one I see up still here that hopefully we can hear. Let's see. Unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, very cool. All right. So, I'm sorry, guys. I did not prepare for this, and that's really not like me. I'm a very, I just like to know exactly what I'm doing, but I'm going to rock this, and we're just going to get this going. I wasn't supposed to be home tonight, but I'm so happy to see you girls. I know that I have 4 coaches on here, and I'm so excited that you guys were able to make it. What was the first thing, Wendy? What was that first thing you wanted to talk about?
Your aha moment, or something that has been worked really well for you, or like maybe a mistake you've made that you've learned from, or you wish you would have started earlier. Those are kind of some of the things that we talked about.
Okay, so I know with my new coaches, I'm trying to really implement right away, just like getting started right. I think it's important to get to Emerald as soon as you can. I know for a lot of my people, if I don't do that with them, or at least do that getting started right call, they seem to just like drop off, and I understand that because they have no idea what they're doing. I had no idea what I was doing. So I've been trying to do, as long as my coaches are willing, I do a getting started right call with them. And then I try to, I think one of my biggest mistakes is, I think because I had such amazing results, I've lost 60 pounds now. People don't even recognize me, and so I've had a lot of people be interested. I was going back through and like tracking. I've had over 450 people message me about what I'm doing, but the problem is like I have been so busy with my life, working full time as a nurse, being, you guys know, we're all busy. But I have not been following up with anyone. So like I have people that I haven't talked to since November. I've been a coach now eight months, and so it's going to be super awkward for me to try to get back into talking to them. And so I really wish I would have just like, I don't know, set myself notifications and done that tracking system right away. But I guess because I was seeing all the fruit, the cream of the crop right away, I didn't really care. And that sounds terrible, but I was just like, oh, I hit Success Club 10 this month, I'm good for the month or whatever. Instead of just like every single day showing up, doing my power hour, every single person following up with. So now I'm kind of having to go back and get organized and be like, I know like what Hampton said, I have so much to follow up with now, and it can get overwhelming. Like you're just like, is it worth it? But I know it is. I know that Kelly gave a great tip today in our Good Vibes tribe that it's important to follow up. Like people that she signed last month were people she talked to 4 or 5 months ago. So I think that I need to work on that a lot, and that's one thing that I'm working on with my coaches. For me, my aha moment, absolutely hands down, was when I was at work one day, and my husband texted me and said, "Hey, Matthew started crawling," and I'm gonna cry. But I was at work, and I was like, seriously, like I missed that. Like, how did I miss that? So literally that was like in February, and like I was like, okay, this has got to be it. I got to go all in. And so a lot of you guys know this was my first week. I was able to go part-time at my job now, which means I only work like 6 to 3:30, 2 days a week, which is incredible, amazing. And it's all because of Beachbody and being able to change people's lives. Wendy has been a huge help to me. And eventually, like, I have this vision board, and my vision, absolutely, hands down, I'm going to do it, is by baby number 2, I'm not pregnant, but by baby number 2, I will not work anymore. And that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be making hopefully $5,000 to $6,000 a month would be my goal at that point, and then we're just going to go from there. But absolutely, that's like a non-negotiable. By baby number 2, I'm done. Not that I don't love being a nurse. It's actually one of my passions, but I love being a mom more. And so that's, I think it's important to have a vision and like be concrete with that vision. So I know for a lot of my new coaches, I've been having them send me like a legit concrete, this is what I want from this, because I feel like when you're just like, ooh, this is fun, I'm going to get fit, like it burns off just like anything else in your life. You have to have a concrete, this is why I'm doing this is why I want to do this, etc., etc. You guys know what I mean, but I think that's important to do.
For sure. I think, and that's why we even have that like written down in our Getting Started Right call. Like, if you could dream as big as you possibly could with your ideal life, what would it look like? And most people don't think about that when they first start. Like Sarah said, she wanted to make $60, right? Like you pushed me because you were like, no, I really have no interest in investing. I really don't. I'm not ready for this. There were so many different objections you gave me. And then all of a sudden, when you start to meet other people and you see the opportunity and you get emotional, and physical changes, it changes a lot of things. And you're such an inspiration to so many people. And how, if you guys aren't following her on social media, she makes it seem really natural and real to share everything, to share her transformation without feeling like weird or braggy, to share Shakeology with it being like this very authentic and not trying to sell to you, and about the coaching opportunity, because like you said, being able to not work full-time or miss certain things of what your child is doing, or even that vision that you potentially just shared with us, it's things like that. She shares it in a way that is really authentic and makes you like go, okay, yeah, I could see that. I could see that for myself. Which it's a talent to be able to do that, and it's hard work. It's not like you just blab it out, right? Like you really work on this. So nice work. And definitely, if you, I'm not sure when you're trying to have baby number 2, but let's say even in 9 months.
Not there yet.
I mean that, that number is a very much a reality, and especially with the pace you're going, and it's exciting to, know things like that. So then I know, and I can walk you through, okay, how are we going to get there? What numbers do we need to have? Let's tie in quarterly bonuses, because you guys know that I love that kind of stuff. So if you do have any questions, I am sending out, this weekend is a big weekend. I'll be sending out form, I guess, or questionnaire for what you want your third quarter goals to be, because this is kind of the end of the second quarter. We'll get our quarterly bonuses if you're a 2-star or above. I think in the next paycheck, like the 15th paycheck. So it's a situation of, I'm not sure if everyone on here knows this, but once you're a 2-star diamond, Beachbody starts profit sharing with you, and then you get profit sharing at 2-star, 5-star, 10-star, 15-star. So your goal is always really, it's true business when you've hit 2-star diamond. So think through that, and Kim, you're well on your way there, lady. My goodness. I wish we could get my other 2 leaders. Amy, do you want me to try you one more time? But thank you, Kim. I think you always share so well, even though you weren't prepared. You were awesome. Okay, Amy, will you let me know if you want me to try again? Otherwise, I know it's after 10 and it's a late night for all of us East Coasters, but thank you all for getting on. Amy, you're unmuted. Let's see if we can hear you. No. Okay, well, we try. Alrighty. Stop presenting. I think we've kind of all come to the conclusion that even though this makes my life a little easier sometimes, because it does, like it sends links to everyone and, does things like that, I think we're going to go back to Zoom and then I'll get an assistant to help me with some of this other stuff, because I miss seeing your faces. We all miss seeing, our whole tribe's faces, and then I know everyone will be able to talk if they want to talk versus these technical issues. So what I'll only use this for is for, like, basically our coach, what was I going to say, like our coach sneak peeks, because then these are, then now I get a list of everyone that signed up, and we can easily check back in with them again, and we have emails and everything else. But for our team calls, we'll go back to using Zoom. Alrighty? So I thank you guys for showing up, and I love you all. I don't know why it's not presenting me anymore, but either way. Okay, happy Thursday. Have a good night. I'll talk to you guys soon.